So it's time. It is time for a review of Spider-Man Far From Home. This is the 23rd movie in the MCU, and if you do not want to be spoiled for this movie, this review will contain spoilers. This might be my longest normal review ever. I'm going to make it at least like 20 minutes, because this is a special one, of course. It's the MCU ranking. Well, it's not an MCU ranking. I don't know why I just said that. But, anyway, time for the spoiler review. If you have not seen Spider-Man or Avengers Endgame yet, do not continue reading. This review will contain spoilers. Okay, I hope you're gone now. Let's dive in. First off, what an emotional joyride. Peter Parker deals with Tony Stark's death and wants to put the superhero life aside to have fun with his friends. Zendaya as MJ is one of Marvel's biggest what-ifs in history. People were skeptical of it. They didn't really know what to think of it. In Homecoming, when she had those little tiny moments in there, I am here to say that this MJ is even better than the one from the Raimi films with Tobey Maguire. This film is extremely funny, and one of the most joke-filled films in the MCU, which is much needed after the Endgame finale with, I Am Iron Man and Captain America, turning into an old guy. By the way, he is dead. They confirm in the first 5 minutes to 10 minutes of this film. Captain America is dead. The snap, is called the blip now. That's another thing I really like about this movie, is that they really do bridge Endgame to this movie really well in explaining, how the snap has affected, this environment that we've gotten so used to since Homecoming, these characters and everything, and how they're doing, how younger siblings are now older siblings. The laws have changed. The world is scattered, and nobody really knows what's happening, because this movie takes place a month or so after not a month. I'm sorry, about a few months after Endgame. And we see that they're still dealing with the snap, or the blip as they call it. So yeah. So as our not really twist villain, while not being as interesting as Vulture from Homecoming in my opinion, he serves as a compelling and understandable villain, and Jake Gyllenhaal absolutely sells his performance. He was a absolutely awesome contributing part to this movie, and he's probably one of my favorite villains. He's not as interesting as Vulture, but I do like him I do like him a little bit more than Vulture. So he's a good villain. He easily has one of the funniest backstories ever. So apparently in Captain America Civil War, the technology shown off in the first scene in the film by Tony was made by none other than Mysterio himself. The glasses, of course, is what I'm talking about. So we find out Mysterio was pissed when Stark gave his tech the acronym of BARF. This made Mysterio hate Tony, and it's what drives him to create illusions that trick people into seeing him as the new and better Iron Man replacement. Excuse me, sorry. Fury and Maria Hill, who are actually revealed in the one of the after credit scenes to be the Skrull leader Talos and his wife from Captain Marvel, are fooled by this and see him as the new Avenger they've been seeking all along. Mysterio's assistant also happens to be a past MCU character. In the very first film, Iron Man, Obadiah Stane yells at a scientist saying, Tony Stark made it in a cave from scraps. That scientist, being pushed to his absolute limits by Stark's adversary, teams up with Mysterio to tear Europe and Peter's friends to shreds. Peter stops him, and all is well as him and MJ head back to Queens as a couple. And that's another thing I want to touch on, too. That was a really awesome and touching scene where, Peter's been trying to give MJ this Black Dahlia necklace, and it gets broken. She's like, I actually like it broken. He's like, I really like you. She was like, I really like you too. And they kiss, and it was great. And they go back to Queens as a couple, which is even better. So the after credit scene is what really brings attention. None other than J. Jonah Jameson. Yes. Oh my gosh, dude. I can't even believe, and they even got the guy from the Maguire films that played him to come back for this movie. He reports on the news that Mysterio has revealed the identity of Spider-Man, because at this point Mysterio is dead. Mysterio does die in this movie, and people still think that Mysterio is the hero, because I don't know why Peter didn't reveal, I don't know why Peter didn't, tell authorities or something that, or leave a note like he did in the first movie, with Vulture. He's this guy was creating illusions as a hero and everything, and people would believe him because he's Spider-Man, But he didn't do that, so Mysterio, is dead, and they see Spider-Man as the culprit. But little did, Peter know, Mysterio actually recorded something and sent it into the news, apparently, I guess. And he reveals Peter's identity. He says Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And he even shows a picture of him on there and everything. It was just really, really insane to see that. And Peter and MJ are left in shock. And it just cuts the butt. And that's it for the next Spider-Man movie. Mysterio is, seen as a hero, and, since he's dead, the primary suspect is Parker. So, yeah, how good is Far From Home? It's also, it's a very inventive film. It's really good. I can see how some people may not like it because of the elements of, him not being in New York from the classic Spider-Man films. A break from that, we saw that 5 freaking times, man. 6 if you count Homecoming, but, he wasn't really in New York for all that long in Homecoming. But yeah, we saw that in the Raimi films and the Andrew Garfield films. And I was just growing kind of sick of it. Uncle Ben dies. He's swinging around New York, gets bit by a spider, everything. I'm glad they decided to skip over that with Civil War. They decided to skip over that in Civil War. We get just straight up to Peter Parker being Spider-Man. And, we get a break from all that classic New York stuff that we used to see. Him holding the train together. We kind of got that scene with him holding the boat together. But I thought we needed a little bit of a break from that. Well, I can see that upsets comic fans. I love the movies more than comics. I will say that right now. I'm not ashamed of it. I love the movies more than the comics. Deal with it. Hate me in the comments. Yeah, I just really love the atmosphere of these movies. Him going to different locales, not what to expect. Thinking, I can just be Peter Parker here, but no, you have to be Spider-Man as well in this new environment. Because there are villains to fight, as he sees. So I would say check it out, guys, definitely. In theaters. If you don't got the time for that, definitely get it on digital and DVD when it drops. This is one of the rare MCU movies I'd say that for. Only because some of the movies, I honestly just waited for DVD because I didn't have time for it. Normally I'm just like, heck yeah, let's see it. But I don't have time for, specifically the summer movies, the movies, in the summer. But luckily I was able to see this one. Infinity War is the only MCU film obviously that will change once Endgame gets released, but this movie is definitely worth the wait, and I'm probably going to do that for this movie. I'm not going to reveal where my placing is for this in the MCU movies, because you guys will find that out on Friday. That being said, there are some elements in this movie I'm not too fond of. It's very few, but I'm still going to discuss it. This movie replicates 2 MCU movies. This movie pulls multiple things from Homecoming. Love interest, field trips, quirky characters. Happy replaces Tony as the mentor. Mysterio, while having different motives than Vulture, ultimately is still the man that feels cheated out of success in life. And this film also copies elements from Captain Marvel. This marks two Marvel movies alone this year to do this. One being Dark Phoenix, and another being this film. And about the Homecoming thing, I know it's a Spider-Man movie. It's probably supposed to take some of those elements, but I don't know. It just felt a little tiny bit repetitive. Once again, these are minor nitpicks. I love this movie. I will tell you guys that right now. I love this movie. It's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, but you guys will find that out tomorrow when I do a ranking video of all the Spider-Man movies. And by the way, I promised a ranking video for all the Pixar movies to one of my subscribers. I will get on that. I believe it was, I forget your name, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will get that video out to you sometime next week. I just haven't had time to sit down and watch all of the Pixar movies, because that's what I do for these ranking videos, guys. I sit down, I watch all of the movies, and then I rank. That's why it took me a little bit longer to get the Child's Play movies ranked. But I will have the Spider-Man movies ranked, because in advance for this movie, I decided to watch all of those movies anyway. Including even the Raimi films, Andrew Garfield, Homecoming, Into the Spider-Verse, and now I've seen this movie, so I'm ready to do that ranking tomorrow. That being said, Dark Phoenix copied Captain Marvel, elements of that. This movie does the same. In Far From Home's case, it's basically weakened by emotions, led on by Nick Fury. Is betrayed by the trusted, in Captain Marvel's case, is Yon-Rogg, and eventually grows stronger from the emotion and trauma they've overcome. That's really the only problem I have with this film. This is an awesome MCU film, and an even more awesome Spider-Man film. I'll be doing a ranking video, like I said, like I did in May, ranking all the Spider-Man films, worst to best. Also, make sure to look out for Friday, where I rank all 23 MCU films, worst to best, for the final time in 2019, at least until Black Widow comes out. This movie earns an A+ in my book. Tom Holland says he'll play Spidey till he can't walk anymore. So let's hope that's a long time from. It's a long time from now, because he has killed this. So Spider-Man: Far From Home. Absolutely amazing film. Zendaya, Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Holland, of course. The guy that plays Ned, I forget his name, was absolutely fantastic in all of their roles. Nick Fury, Maria Hill, even though they aren't really Nick Fury and Maria Hill, they're Talos and his wife, were still fantastic. And also, I want to announce something real quick. I will be doing a live Avengers Endgame watch. Once I get Avengers Endgame on DVD, I'm not gonna do it when it comes out on digital, because if I do it on digital, when digital comes out, I will have to do it in my room, in this room that I'm in right now, and it does not have great Wi-Fi, and the live stream video will get cut. I can already guarantee it for y'all, so I'm not gonna have that happen. I'm going to make it so the live stream works. Having a little bit of trouble right now getting the live streams absolutely perfect and planned, because as you guys probably know, the mobile streaming is not authorized on YouTube anymore unless you have over 1,000 subscribers, which I think is total BS, and screw you, YouTube, for doing that, by the way. I absolutely hate that. So I'm going to try and find another way to do it. But when I do, you guys can come by. It'll probably be, Endgame comes out August 13th on DVD, so it'll probably be August 20th or something like that. I gotta check my calendar. I'll give you guys further details later down the line. But yeah, those are the details for that. We'll just, come on by. We'll watch Endgame together if you have a copy. You guys, I'll give you a time code. You guys can watch it with me if you want. Or you guys can just, listen in on my reaction to certain things. 'Cause I have not seen Endgame. Listen, I have not seen Endgame since I saw it in theaters, and I have done that on purpose. Not seen Endgame since theaters. Didn't even go to the theater this weekend. I had the opportunity to. Didn't even go to the theater this weekend and see the extra 6 minutes added. I already know what the extra 6 minutes is. It's honestly not that good, and I'm pretty sure I saw that they're putting the Stan Lee thing and the intro by the Russo brothers onto the DVD in the special features section. I don't know about the Hulk thing. I really don't care for the Hulk thing. I've watched it. It's, it's okay, I guess. It's not really anything. It's not really anything like wonderful. It's an unfinished scene. But yeah. Yeah. Whoa, that's a voice crack. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this review for Spider-Man Far From Home. Let me know what you thought of the film. Check out the upcoming rankings. Be kind to one another, and goodbye. Spider-Man.